Hey, this is SJ, Talk Some Life, coming back at you. I did a video talking about Karmelo, Anthony, um, the young man that is what stabbed the black young man that stabbed the white young man, and he's claiming stand your ground. That I did a video talking about that. I just wanted to clarify some things because um, I don't want to give people the impression, because some of the comments in my comment section, um, some of the comments are harder where I like whether I agree with them or not, because it's wanted people's opinion on it. But um, I just wanted to clarify, I do not condone violence. That's not what I'm in when you listen to the video. I do not condone violence against anyone, and my prayers and condolences go out to the young man's family that he unalived. I don't condone violence against anybody. I don't condone fighting or no kind of violence. So, for the record, you've never heard me come on here condoning any type of violence. I don't condone violence. However, my point that I was trying to make, somebody came in and said, well, Carmelo had a weapon at a track meet or whatever. I guess he had a weapon. He wasn't supposed to have a weapon. And I don't really know all the facts. I read the article, read the article that said that um, it was an altercation, and he, in trying to defend himself, he um, stabbed the young man. But a lot of people are making the argument that he used lethal force, that he didn't have to stab the young man. So I agree, he didn't have to stab him. He didn't have to stab him. And the point, another person was making a comment that he wasn't supposed to have the knife. And that's the question that pops up in my mind is, why did he have the knife? Was he being bullied by these people, these young men? Was he already being bullied by these young men, and he felt like he had to carry the knife to defend himself? Because when people carry weapons, they're carrying them to defend themselves from a possible altercation, or if they feel like they're being bullied. I'm not trying to justify what the young man did, because I don't condone violence. I'm just trying to make sense of it. I'm just trying to make sense of why he would have the knife. Was a situation to where he was being bullied before, or I don't know. See, I don't know all the facts of the case. I read the article that said that there was an altercation, and efforts of him trying to defend himself, he stabbed the young man. You know, whether his intentions was to unalive him, I don't know. Whether he did that and his intentions was to unalive him, that's something that they have to figure out in the court of law. I don't know. Um, but my point that I was trying to make, the point that I was trying to make was in regarding to the stand your ground laws. It just seems like that law only benefits white people in relation to when a white person unalives a black person, either unalives a black person or they injure a black person, they use that stand your ground as a defense, and in attempts to get off for unaliving this black person or injuring this black person. It just seems that law only benefits white people. That was the whole point that I was trying to make in the video, that it just seems like black people can't claim stand your ground, even though that's a law on the books. Stand your ground is a law on the books. But it just seems like black people can't, that law doesn't apply to black people. That black people can't use that as a defense in relation to um, them defending themselves against someone white. That's the point that I was making. It just seems like that law was put into place only to benefit white people. So white people would have a legal right to injure or unalive a black person and get away with it. That was the point that I was making. I wasn't in no way condoning, because the person got a little twisted in my comment section and he thought that I was being hypocritical, which I wasn't trying to be hypocritical, or nor am I don't want people to think that I'm condoning violence. No, I'm not condoning violence against a young man. I don't condone violence against anybody. And if you guys listen, any of you guys listen to me on a regular basis, I never condone violence on here. I don't never condone violence. I'm not a violent person, nor do I condone violence. You know, so I don't condone him any violence. And like I said, my heart, prayers, and condolences go out to the young man's family. But um, I mainly, like I said, my main point was about the stand your ground law. It just seems like a situation where a black person is defending themselves against a white person, they can't use that as a defense. Whereas the white person, 9 times out of 10, can use that as a defense. They can injure or unalive a black person and claim stand your ground and say I was defending myself. And 9 times out of 10, they will get they would get off, just like George Zimmerman did. And so and a lot of what other white people did. Now there were some white people that didn't get off. They tried to use that as a defense and they didn't get off. I think the lady that shot the black lady through the door, she tried to claim stand your ground. She didn't get there was some issues with the children, with the black lady's children, and the white lady was um cussing at the kids and stuff like that, and making threats and everything. And the mother, of course, being a mother, trying to, in efforts of trying to protect her children, went over to the lady's house to have a conversation with her, and the white lady shot her right through the door. I think in that case she did get arrested. I don't really know what became of that case. I think she tried to claim stand your ground. But how are you standing your ground when the person is on the other side of the door and you ain't even answer the door? You just shot them right through the door. So that person is not physically doing anything to you. They're just standing outside your door. So in a few rare cases, the white person tried to unalive the black person, or they injured a black person, and they tried to claim stand your ground, and they didn't get off. But in lots of cases, historically, they have been able to get off. They have been able to unalive a black person or injure a black person and then claim stand your ground. I'm very concerned about that, because that gives white people the legal right to do something to black people. So that was my main point of the video, and it just doesn't seem like, it seems like when a black person tries to defend themselves against a white person, they can't use that as a defense. So, and the law only seems to benefit white people, to give them the legal right to do whatever they want to us. That was the point that I was making. I wasn't trying to condone anything. I wasn't trying to defend a young man. I like I said, this has to play out in a court of law. I do hope that he gets a fair trial and all things are taken into consideration. Maybe he stabbed a young man and he didn't mean to unalive him. I don't know. But whatever, I don't condone violence. So I just want to clear that up for the record. I'm just upset about the stand your ground law, that it just doesn't seem to apply to us, that we should be able to defend ourselves against anybody that's attacking us, and we should be able to claim stand your ground just like they can claim it. But don't flip the script just because it's a black person trying to defend themselves against a white person. Don't all of a sudden flip the script and then not letting the black person use that as a defense. That was my whole point of that video. So I just wanted to clarify that and clear that up. All right, I'll see you guys later. Be blessed.